Learn English through story. The weight of wealth. In a bustling city, there lived a wealthy businessman named Harold. He was known for his extravagant lifestyle, his towering skyscrapers, and his impressive collection of luxury cars. Harold had built his empire from the ground up, and he took great pride in his achievements. However, despite his wealth, he was a man consumed by greed and ambition, often at the expense of those around him. One evening, after a long day at the office, Harold decided to unwind at an exclusive club. As he entered, the air was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses. He spotted his friends gathered around a table, celebrating a recent business deal. As he approached, his friend Tom raised a glass to Harold, the king of the city. Everyone cheered, and Harold basked in the attention. They toasted to his success, but as the night wore on, he noticed a homeless man sitting alone outside the club, shivering in the cold. Harold felt a twinge of guilt but quickly brushed it aside. After all, he had worked hard for his wealth, and the world was filled with people who made poor choices. As the weeks passed, Harold's life continued in this extravagant fashion, filled with lavish parties and opulent purchases. However, a change began to take root within him. It started with dreams and nightmares. To be precise, in his sleep, he saw the homeless man from the club, his face twisted in pain, reaching out for help. Harold would wake up in a cold sweat, feeling an emptiness that his wealth couldn't fill. One fateful day, Harold received a call from his assistant. "Mr. Thompson, I have a meeting scheduled with a major investor. It could be a game changer for our company." Excited, Harold spent the entire day preparing for the meeting, convinced that this would be his biggest triumph yet. That evening, as he was about to leave, he decided to take a different route to the office. As he walked, he found himself near the same spot where he had seen the homeless man weeks earlier. To his surprise, the man was still there, wrapped in tattered clothing. This time, Harold felt compelled to stop. "Are you okay?" he asked, surprising even himself with his concern. The man looked up, his eyes filled with weariness. "I'm just trying to survive, sir. It's been a tough winter." Harold, who had never spoken to a homeless person before, hesitated. "Why don't you find a job? There must be something you can do." The man chuckled softly. "It's not that simple. People don't see me. They only see my situation." Harold frowned, feeling a strange sense of unease wash over him. "What's your name?" he asked. "David," he replied. "And you're not like most people who pass by." As they spoke, Harold felt an unusual connection with David. He began to share stories of his life, his successes, and even his fears. David listened intently, his eyes reflecting a depth of understanding. "Success isn't just about wealth, you know," David said softly. "It's about how you treat others and the legacy you leave behind." Harold was taken aback by the homeless man's insight. For the first time in a long while, he felt a sense of vulnerability. After their conversation, Harold handed David some money and promised to return. The next day, Harold arrived at his meeting feeling distracted. Despite his best efforts to focus, he couldn't shake David's words from his mind. After the meeting, he found himself wandering back to the same spot. David was still there, but this time, he was joined by other homeless individuals, sharing stories and laughter around a small fire. "Good to see you again, Harold," David said with a smile. "You remembered my name?" Harold asked, surprised. "Of course. You're not like the others. You're trying to connect, David replied. Feeling compelled to help, Harold spent time with David and the others, bringing them food and clothing. He learned their names, their stories, and their struggles. Each encounter chipped away at his once impenetrable wall of ambition and greed. As the weeks turned into months, Harold started a foundation to support the homeless community in his city. He organized job training programs, provided meals, and offered resources to help people find shelter. He found fulfillment in the smiles and gratitude of those he helped, and the nightmares of the past faded into distant memories. However, success in the business world didn't come without its challenges. One day, Harold's company faced a financial crisis, and he was forced to make difficult decisions. Investors were losing faith, and layoffs were imminent. For the first time, Harold felt the weight of his wealth and responsibility pressing down on him. Desperate, he sought advice from David. "How do I navigate this?" Harold asked one evening as they sat on a park bench. "I've always been driven by success, but now I feel lost." David looked thoughtfully at Harold. "True success is not measured by what you gain but by what you give. When you focus on helping others, the rest will follow. Don't let your fear of failure guide your decisions, let your heart do that instead." Inspired by David's wisdom, Harold made a bold move. Instead of cutting jobs, he shared his challenges with his employees, encouraging them to come up with innovative solutions together. The result was a renewed sense of teamwork, and together, they turned the company around. In the end, Harold learned that wealth is not just about money and success but about the connections we make and the impact we have on others. He found a sense of purpose that transcended his former ambitions, enriching his life beyond measure. Years later, as he stood before a new community center dedicated to helping the homeless, Harold smiled at David, who had become his mentor and friend. The weight of wealth had transformed into the lightness of giving, illuminating not just his path but the lives of countless others. The moral of Harold's journey was clear: true wealth is found in generosity, connection, and the legacy we leave in the hearts of those we touch. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.